Falcon and the Winter Soldier is surprisingly good. Hey guys, welcome to my one take. This video was not recorded in one take. This took time to edit and execute. The term one take is just a fancy way of describing our raw thoughts for a film and TV show being a true risk. Today we're going to be talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I gotta say, I am very surprised. I honestly thought this show was going to be an average but cute spy show. I thought we were going to get some cute banter between Bucky and Sam, have some generic villain that showed up at the end, you know, the old Marvel formula. But nah, man, Marvel came out swinging with this one and ended up soaring. Get it? Soaring like a falcon? Because Sam is the Falcon. And okay. But we're going to waste no time, folks. We're going to get right into it. All gas, no breaks, baby. Let's get into this review. And since I did like this show, I got to talk about the things that I didn't like. And the first thing is the action. Yeah, no action scenes were really memorable. Some of them, or I should say majority of them, really weren't that engaging. It's just people doing karate. Like, I don't know. I felt like you could have done better. These people are like superheroes, so, you know, could have been better, but whatever. I guess screw me, I guess. Oh, and I can't stand how they're edited. I don't like the quippiness and like how choppy it is. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on and hard to really keep up what the heck is happening. The only action scene that I genuinely enjoyed was the final one where Falcon is like flying and trying to get those politicians out of the helicopter. That's the one that I like. Honestly, I like the entire, well, I wouldn't say entire, but I liked the majority of the final battle. It was really, really good. Or whenever Falcon flies. I just like it when he flies. It's really cool. Number 2, Sharon. Yeah, this whole thing about her being the power broker was really weird and just kind of ham-fisted. The end credit scenes didn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, I understood what was going on, but I just didn't think it was necessary. Like, I understand why she's mad, but I don't know. I don't think this needed to be done within this story. I think she was just better off as this side character to help the main characters carry out the plot. I didn't think she'd need all this extra narrative stuff going on with her. Yeah, it was just, I don't know. I didn't really like it. Number 3, Walter's redemption. I feel like he was better off as the evil version of Captain America. Now, yeah, he's the evil version, but he had this weird small redemption at the end where he saves the politicians. To me, his character arc was shown to be the villain throughout the entire show. There was absolutely no sign of redemption. Now, to be fair, it is kind of unclear if he's the villain or not. At the end of the show, he was with that Val chick in that new suit, so I think he'll still be the villain. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, maybe I missed something, I don't know. But that just makes me even more frustrated. Like, if you're just gonna have him as the villain, then why have him save those people at the end? That just doesn't, I don't know, make any sense to me. Well, whatever. Number 4, Val. I don't like her. I don't know. I just don't like her. I don't like her character. I don't like her line delivery. I don't like her jokes. I don't like her. I just don't like her character. Speaking of characters, we're going to be talking about things that I do like in this show. And the first thing is Bucky and Falcon. Yeah, I really like their chemistry. I really, really enjoyed their relationship. It was really engaging to see these two talk. We don't really get to see Bucky and Falcon in the movies as far as characters go. Like, they're there in the movie, but they don't really get a lot of characterization. And I get that all the characterization needs to go to, you know, Cap and Iron Man and all these other characters they're dealing with. But yeah, I think this show does a very good job of characterizing both guys. And I think the relationship is done very, very good. Falcon gets a lot of characterization in this show. Like I said, he really doesn't do much in the movies as far as characters go. Like, again, he's there and he serves the plot well and he's, you know, Captain America's buddy. But that's about it. Like, he doesn't really do much as far as, you know, character. He doesn't leave you with a lasting impact. So I'm really, really glad that they took time to take on his character in this show. Even though Bucky is kind of underused, I enjoyed his character a lot. They could have done a lot more with his character. I, you know, will agree with that. But, I don't know. I thought they used his character very well. I really enjoyed his character. I really enjoyed the moments that he was on. And yeah, I liked it overall. And this is something that I enjoy from these Marvel shows. Different characterizations from characters that we don't spend a lot of time with. Like I said, Falcon and Bucky don't really get a lot of time spent on them in the movies. So I'm glad we get to see these characters in a different way in this show. Oh, and I love Falcon's suit at the end. It just looks so cool. I don't know, man. It's so awesome. Speaking of more characters that I enjoyed, I really enjoyed Zemo. Yeah, Zemo was pretty awesome. Now, at first, I was really skeptical and didn't know how to feel about it, but he added a lot to the show. I enjoyed him being this wild card within the group. It really added a lot to the group, and he wasn't a distraction and didn't really, steal the scene from our main characters. No, he just added something to it, and I really enjoyed that. It was great to see him play off the main characters. He didn't slow them down. He didn't halt the pacing. No, he actually added a lot to the group and to the story, and I really like that. Speaking of more villains, I really like Carly and the Flag Smashers. Some people didn't like Carly's character or the Flag Smashers, but I actually enjoyed them. I like their motivations, wanting things the way they were before the blip. I think that's a cool idea to focus on. I like Carly's character. I liked her motivations, and I thought that the show conveyed that in a very good way. Now, I will say, even though that I did like her character, there is some valid criticism towards her. I do think there's too much telling instead of showing. Like, they tell us how they want things before the blip, and I can accept that. But I feel like there's a flashback or another piece of storytelling that's missing for this character to be complete. So I can understand why people don't like her character. It is too much telling instead of like showing us, so it can get really annoying, and yeah, I can see how people don't like it. But personally, I liked it. Speaking of more villains, Walter's character. Yeah, I really liked him. I really like Walter's character. I love the idea of having an evil Captain America. The role that Walter plays in the story is perfect until the end. But overall, I still like this role in the story. Showing us an evil Captain America makes the audience believe in the new Captain America, which is why I enjoy when Sam takes upon the shield and takes on that mantle. If we just started off the show with Sam taking the shield and training and trying to learn how to be Captain America from the get-go, then it wouldn't be that much of a payoff. Sam as a character already really isn't that interesting. So if you have time to put down the mantle and put down the Captain America idea and have him focus on his character, it makes the payoff so much better. And that's exactly what this show does, and I enjoy that from this show. And which is why I love the idea of having an evil Captain America, because the moment that Sam comes on the shield as Captain America, you're allowed to enjoy that moment. I really hope he's the villain in the next season, because I really want this idea of an evil Captain America to be played out more. Speaking of good writing, yeah, I like the writing. Like I mentioned before, I love the idea of how to deal with life after the blip. It makes for interesting scenarios. Like, what do you do if someone comes back from the blip and someone else is living in their house? How the heck do you deal with that? How do banks deal with people coming back from the blip? Do they give loans to people? Do they not give loans to people? Like, how do they figure that out? That's a really cool idea. I just love how the story and the whole arc of the show deals with the events from Endgame. Speaking of events from Endgame, the events of Endgame were really traumatic and affected every single character in the MCU. No one has gotten away from this event, and I just love how they did this in a very good way. Instead of just mentioning this idea of the event and putting it to the side and always talking about it, the show actually does a very good job of showing us what that idea is. But at the same time, they kind of don't, because, like, I don't know, they kind of failed with some of Carly's characterization. But anyways, I still feel like they did a great job. They didn't just ham-fist it in there. They didn't just say that this is a good idea. No, they actually did a good job of expanding on it. I'm looking at you. It's not forced or ham-fisted. It's done very good. Speaking of non-hand-fisted stories, I love how they handle the idea of race. Some shows force the idea of race or any topic related to this without the topic itself being integrated within the show. So it just comes off really lazy and makes for really bad writing. I can't stand it when shows want to be quote-unquote woke or want to talk about social ideas and injustices within society, but don't do a good job of conveying that within their show. To me, that just makes for bad writing and just frustrates me personally. But with this idea of race within the show, well, within this show, it serves the plot very well. And I personally love the symbolism in certain scenes, and it wasn't forced. It naturally served the plot, and it served it very well. I give this show a lot of credit for that, because when it's done wrong, I cannot stand it. Speaking of, oh wait, is that it? Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I originally tweeted out that this show is better than WandaVision, but now that I think about it, it kind of comes down to preference. This show is a lot slower, so if you're not into the story, if you're not into these characters, then you're probably not going to like it. If you like WandaVision, you might not like the show. It's really slow in comparison. If you're not into the main plot of the story, then yeah, you're not gonna have a good time. If you didn't like WandaVision, you actually might like the show in comparison. It has great characters, the writing is a bit more consistent in my opinion, and the story is pretty engaging. Or you might just be like me, end up liking both shows. Or you might not like the show. I don't know, it's really up to you. Even though it had some issues with the show, and there are some valid criticisms towards certain parts, I'm going to give Falcon and the Winter Soldier an 8 out of 10.